Welcome to today's lesson where we are going to look at leaf electroscope, features, charging and discharging. We start with the features of electroscope. As you can see from our diagram here, we have the cap of what we are calling the brass cap. Then down there we have the insulator. We have the metal rod that is extending downwards. And then we have the metal plate and the leaf. This is what we are calling the leaf or the gold leaf. From here we have the metal casing that is covering our leaf electroscope and the metal rod, and on the metal casing we have the earth connection. The view that we have here is similar, but now this one is 3-dimensional and this one is just showing the features. We have the leaf, we have the plate, we have the metal casing, we have the insulator, we have the brass cap, and you can see now the earth connections. Then we go to the features. We start with the metal casing. This protects the leaf from the effect of drought, or when we have the external forces like weed. Instead of destroying our leaf, then it is protected by our casing. In front we have the grass window, and the purpose of the grass window is to ensure that you are able to view the behavior of the leaf. Because it is transparent, then you can be able to make your observations. Then we have the metal rod, as you can see it here. The metal rod, we have insulator between where we have the metal casing and the metal rod. So it is supported by passing it through a plug of good insulator. And this insulator is this one, which stops the charges from spreading to the casing. So if you have the charges that are on the cap, they are prevented from moving to the metal casing by the insulator, and therefore they will not leak away. Then we have the brass cap at the top here. What you're supposed to notice is that this brass cap is circular to ensure that there is uniform distribution of charge on it. Then we have the earthing. What is the purpose of this earthing? First of all, we need to know what is earthing. Earthing is a process of losing electrons or gaining electrons from the earth. You either lose them to the earth or you gain them from the earth, and it is represented by this symbol. You can see even here we have this symbol. So all these now you can be able to know how to use them. We have the insulator, we have the metal rod, we have the plate, we have the metal case, and we have the earthing. Then from there we move to how to construct a simple electroscope. We need the following: a gas jar, 2 pieces of aluminium foil, a copper wire, some electrical tape or cell tape, a plastic lid cut into a circle the same size as the jar opening, a small plastic tube. You can as well use a straw. Then we move to the procedures. We have to assemble the electroscope. You are supposed to take a copper wire and slide it through the plastic tube and make a little hook at the bottom end of the copper wire. Then put 2 pieces of foil, that is the aluminium foil, on the hook, one after the other, and ensure that they are not touching. Then after that, take the plastic lid and put it on top of the jar and secure it with some cell tape. As you can see in this diagram, this is our cell tape. Inside there we have this foil. This is the hook that we have formed using our copper wire, and then we have our lid and our plastic that are together, and they are fixed firmly together by this cell tape. After doing that, then you have what we call the homemade electroscope as shown in our diagram. Then we move to charging a gold leaf electroscope by contact. This one, we can charge it negatively or positively. Now we want to charge it negatively. So first of all, we bring a charged polythene rod. You know polythene, after rubbing it gains negative charges. So we bring a negatively charged polythene rod to the electroscope and roll it over the electroscope. The negatively charged polythene rod repels the negative charges, which spreads on the plate and the leaf, making the leaf and the metal rod repel. This is what we have here on our diagram. you have the charged polythene rod here. It is repelling all the negative charges on the electroscope to the metal plate and the leaf, as you can see. So by rolling it over, this negatively charged polythene rod will neutralize the positive charges that are on the cap. Then after that, you are supposed to repeat this process. The process is repeated several times. The leaf divergence will keep increasing until it reaches the maximum. So as you roll it over, because we have seen that you're supposed to roll it over, what you are doing is that you are neutralizing the charges that are on the cap, and therefore you are leaving the electroscope with just the negative charges that are on the plate and on the leaf. This way, the electroscope is said to be charged by contact, and it is charged negatively. The metal cap, leaf, and the rod will therefore remain diverged, as you can see here. That is, after removing your polythene charged rod, these charges that were on the metal plate and the gold leaf, they will spread, and that is why we are saying, because this one and this one have the same charges, it will spread, or it will make the leaf divergence remain diverged. Now, to charge the electroscope positively, a charged acetate rod, remember acetate acquires positive charges by rubbing, is brought closer to our electroscope, or the cap of the electroscope. Electrons are attached from the cap by the rod. Then the electrons are neutralized when the rod is rolled over, and therefore, again, after removing the rod, you will find that the positive charges will distribute and our leaf will diverge again. So that way we say that electroscope is charged positively. But when you want to discharge an electroscope, you only touch the cap. Remember, we have talked about earthing. So when you charge the cap, the electrons from the earth or electrons from the electroscope will move either to the earth, or you'll gain electrons from the earth. So that way you are able to neutralize, because when you gain the electrons from the earth, if it is positively charged, then it will neutralize the charges that are on the electroscope. So that way you are able to discharge your electroscope. Then we move to charging gold leaf electroscope positively by induction. In this process, you are supposed to touch the cap of the electroscope. This is to ensure that your electroscope is fully discharged. Then bring a charged rod which is negatively charged. While the rod remains in the position, touch the cap. Then withdraw the finger and subsequently remove the rod. When the charged rod is brought closer to the cap, the leaf rises. When the cap is touched, while the rod is in the position, the leaf divergence decreases. And when the finger is withdrawn and then the rod, then you find that the leaf divergence increases. So we have this in the diagram. We have a negatively charged rod. You have brought it closer. It will repel the negative charges. As you can see, the electrons are moving downward. Then when you touch, the electrons from the down here will move from the cap to the earth, or you will lose the electrons to the earth. When you remove both the figure and the rod, the positive charges that were on the cap will redistribute, and your metal plate and the leaf will have the same charges, and therefore it will diverge, or the leaf will diverge, or it will rise. So that way you are able to charge your electroscope positively. Then we move to the explanation. When the rod is brought closer to the cap, electrons are repelled to the plate and the leaf, making the leaf to diverge. When the cap is touched, the electrons flow to the earth through the body. When the earth connection is broken by removing the figure and the rod, then the positive charges redistribute on the leaf and the plate, and that makes the leaf to diverge. So that way we are able to charge our electroscope positively. Then we want to charge an electroscope negatively by induction. When we are charging this one, we have to use a positively charged rod. So we move to the procedures. We have, you bring a positively charged rod near the cap of the electroscope. Electrons flows upward from the brass. They are attracted, and when the rod is in that position, the electroscope is earthed by touching with your finger. The electrons flow from the earth to the leaf and the brass plate, and therefore they neutralize. That makes the leaf to fall. We have the figure here. We have the positively charged rod brought near. All the electrons are attracted to the cap, so making the positives to be left on the plate and the leaf. When you touch, the electrons from the earth will move and come and neutralize the positive charges that were here. Note that these electrons that are here cannot flow to the earth because they are strongly attracted by this positively charged rod. So that is why now when you are earthing, these electrons cannot flow. But now we are getting the electrons from the earth that come and neutralize the positive charges that were here. So the leaf collapses or it falls. Now when you withdraw the earth connection and the rod, the negative charges that were here will redistribute, and you'll find that your leaf divergency increases or the leaf rises. Then we have the assignment. If you look at the assignment, they are just testing what you have learned, so make sure that you're able to get everything, revise before you do the assignment. So thank you, and let us meet in our next lesson.